Our next game in the series is a simplified form of a card game called poker. It's close to a version that is played in some South Asian countries. We will use this game as a vehicle for learning subjects like probability and game theory. In the 1940s, the game of poker inspired von Neumann, the gentleman in the middle here, to initiate the study of zero-sum two-player games. John Nash built on von Neumann's work and developed a notion of mutual consistency of strategies called Nash equilibrium, which is applicable to a wide variety of cooperative and non-cooperative games. And this has found applications in economics and computer science. But if you start playing poker with real money, it can also be an excellent vehicle on the road that leads to financial difficulties and hardship. I hope you don't go down that road. We now describe our version of two-player poker. The game starts off with all the players putting some fixed amount, say $1 each, into the common pot. Then they are dealt 3 cards each. They look at their cards and depending on that, either make further bets or fold. That is, lose the amount that they have bet so far and all further interest in the hand. After the betting has finished, the hands are revealed and the player with the strongest hand takes all the money in the pot. We now go through each of these uh, pieces in more detail. The game starts off with all the players putting in a fixed amount, which will be $1 in our case, into the common pot. They are then dealt 3 cards each. The players look at their own cards and depending on that they make bets, either 0 or 1 or $2. A bet of 0 signifies that the player is surrendering or folding. It is now player A's turn to make a bet. For example, player A here whose turn it is to bet may choose to fold, maybe because his card is very small. In that case, the other player wins and gets all the money in the pot. But now let's say player A makes a positive bet, say $1. Now it is player B's turn to make a bet. He can either surrender by betting 0 or match the amount that player A has bet. If player B surrenders, then player A immediately gets all the money in the pot. Otherwise, B must match A's bet, that is, bet the same amount as A. Let's say B does this and puts in $1 into the pot. Then they reveal their cards and compare. And the player with the stronger hand gets all the money in the pot. In case of a tie, which will be very rare in 3-card poker, the money in the pot is split equally. In our example, player A's hand turns out to be better than player B's hand because his highest card is an ace, which is higher than the highest card in B's hand. So player A takes all the money in the pot. So now we come to the crux of the matter. How to compare two hands. One first assigns a category to a hand depending on whether the cards have a nice pattern. For example, having multiple cards of the same number or rank. We'll see a full list of patterns in the next slide. But now we compare two hands by first looking at their patterns or categories. The hand with the higher category always beats the hand with a lower category. Only if the two only if the categories of the two hands are the same, then to resolve ties we compare the highest card in the two hands, and if that doesn't break the tie, the second highest card, and so on. Here's the list of categories. The highest category is three of a kind or trio. It is having three cards having the same number or rank. For example, a four of clubs, a four of spades, and a four of hearts. Then the next highest category is uh, three cards in three consecutive cards having the same suit. The next is three cards with consecutive numbers on them, but not necessarily of the same suit. Then three cards of the same suit or same color. Uh, uh, Two of the cards having the same number. It's called a pair. For example, in this hand we have a five of diamonds and a five of spades. And if none of these things happen, it's the hand is called nothing or just the high card hand.
Let's see an implementation of this in Excel. It's in a file called 3 card poker. It's an Excel file, and it looks very similar to the one card version. It begins with me and the computer both putting in the initial amount, which is $1, into the common pot. Now, in this game, the computer will make the first bet. So it looks at its cards. These are the cards which the computer's cards. It looks at its cards and makes a bet. In this case, it has made a bet of 1, and that signifies that maybe its cards are not too high. So now it's my turn to make a bet. So maybe I'll match the computer's bet, and now the cards are revealed. The category for computer was just high card or nothing. Its highest card was 9, mine was queen. So I win this game and I make a gain of 2 from the initial amount which the computer had put in the pot and the additional $1 which the computer had bet. Now in the next game it's my turn to make the first bet, and I have nothing. It's 2, 4, 5, one of the lowest possible hands. So maybe I'll fold, and so the computer wins because I had surrendered, and it wins $1 from the initial amount. Now in the third game, it's the computer's turn to make the first bet. It looks at its card and has made the bet of 2. This signifies that maybe the computer has good cards. Let's see. I will also match its bet. The computer had uh, two sixes, a 6 and a 6. So it's the category for it was pair, and my category was just a high card. So the computer's hand is stronger. And hence it wins. And so I've lost 3 in this game. Now it's my turn to make the first bet. I have an ace and a king, although my category is just a high card. So maybe I bet 1, and this way I beat the computer which had a king and a queen. Now again the computer has bet 2, maybe I'll match its bet, and this time the computer had the category of all 3 cards being of the same suit, and so its category was higher, and so it has beat me. In the next game I get a pair of aces, so my category is a pair. It's a good hand, so maybe I'll bet 2 this time. And this time though, what has happened is the computer has gotten 3 clubs. so its category is higher than mine, it wins, and so on.
I invite you to play this game yourself, and I hope you enjoy playing it. But I also hope that it has made you curious as to how one can play this game better. In particular, one can ask the following question. Suppose that the computer played deterministically, that is, its betting amount depended only on its own cards and the bets made by the other player. How might one play against such a computer?